Here we go again. Crime fighters, welcome to another edition of Calhoun County's Most Wanted. I'm Chris Wright, along with Chief Deputy Matthew Wade from the Calhoun County Sheriff's Office. Matthew, always good to let the viewers welcome us into their homes so that we can exchange information and make this a better place.
Absolutely. It's always great to be on the show, and my favorite part is seeing how many people we arrest every week. We've never had a week where we didn't arrest somebody, so it's always, that's my favorite part.
All right, so let's go ahead and see what we've done this week, shall we?
8 arrests brings the count up to 3,606 people put in jail because somebody was willing to be involved. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Now, last week at this time we talked a little bit about severe weather, because last week was Severe Weather Preparedness Week. And lo and behold, here we come. This week's show rolls around, and we're looking at tonight, if you're watching this show in its first airing here on Tuesday night, the potential of some severe weather here in Calhoun County and around East Alabama. So we want to talk a little bit about how the Sheriff's Office reacts in a situation like this?
First and foremost, we do have our Facebook page. In today's world, we get a lot of times people will message us about things that really should be called in. If it's an emergency, social media is not the place to put it. You need to call 911 or the Sheriff's Office or your local agency. Two, if it's just information that's needed to pass along, we got over 30,000 followers on our Facebook. If we have information and we know what's going on in an emergency situation, we'll go into the emergency plan mode and we'll start pushing out anything that we know as we know it.
Yeah, a lot of people will see the information that you're putting out from the Facebook page to the public and think, okay, this is going to be a good way to get information back to the Sheriff's Office. That's just one of the avenues that you're using at the Sheriff's Office to get information out to as many people as possible, as quickly as possible, as efficiently as possible. You use other methods as well, but when you're looking for that one-on-one direct connection, I need somebody who can respond to this immediately to know posting it on Facebook is not going to get that response.
Absolutely, it's not going to get that response. There's no way somebody can monitor that 24 hours a day. If somebody has a problem, private messaging something is, hey, can you look into something later on, or hey, my neighbor's doing something. But nothing replaces calling going, hey, there's a problem, I need somebody to come out. That is the way to do it. Call 911, you can call the Sheriff's Office if you need to directly, but social media is a good tool, but it's not a replacement to having that conversation where you can tell somebody something and they acknowledge what they hear back.
All right, so if you haven't yet, make sure that you go to the Calhoun County Sheriff's Office Facebook page, like the page so that you will get those notices coming through on your news feed on a regular basis and see what's going on, and hopefully we'll be able to share as much information with you as we've been doing. You guys have done a great job of getting information out there very quickly to inform the public.
And that's our goal. So.
All right. Of course, on this show, we do some informing of the public, but we also let the public inform us. When we come back, we will have the first half of this week's lineup on Calhoun County's Most Wanted.
What are you doing?
I'm trying to wash my camo so I'm ready for hunting season.
Get that stuff out of my washer. You should take it to a laundromat.
There isn't any good laundries around here.
Sure there is. Washington Aniston Coin Laundry on Quintard across from Walgreens and beside the Social Security office.
They have a washer that can handle a real man's jacket?
They have the biggest washers and dryers around, and you can get all your stuff finished within an hour.
Awesome. I'm headed to Washington Aniston Coin Laundry at 829 Quintard, and then I can take the rest of the day to get my other gear ready.
Or maybe you can finish the yard work.
Yeah, right after I sight my bow.
Your word is rigmarole.
Can you define it?
A long, complicated, and annoying process.
Can you use it in a sentence?
The last time I tried to buy a car, I just got a big load of rigmarole.
Well, you should have gone to Jacksonville Auto Sales.
Jacksonville Auto Sales across from Walmart in Jacksonville, or find us on the web at jascars.com. Remember, Jacksonville Auto Sales, home of the no rigmarole deal.
AOD Federal Credit Union. You already know their friendly staff and great loan products. So here's reason number 8 to choose AOD FCU, a new all-platinum Visa credit card. Call 1-800-637-0299 or visit AODFCU.com to start earning 1% cash back on purchases. Your good credit earns you a better rate, a new Platinum Visa card, another reason you belong at AOD Federal Credit Union.
The Ford brand has always brought you impressive style and legendary quality, and Sonny King Ford brings you the lowest price and the largest inventory, new or pre-owned. The new 2015 F-150 gets the best gas mileage of any truck without giving up its powerful towing capacity. The iconic new 2015 Mustang, with its classic pony car looks and hunkered down stance, preserves a legacy that defines American motoring. For over 93 years, Sonny King Ford, for the best cars and best price.
All right, let's get down to business. Here's this week's lineup of Calhoun County's Most Wanted. You see somebody you recognize, you have information about where they are, please call Calhoun County Crime Stoppers. We'll have that phone number for you here in just a few moments. Katisha Tuck of Anniston, wanted on a probation violation for obstruction of justice using a false ID. Kenneth Truss of Anniston, wanted for failure to appear for possession of marijuana and possession of a controlled substance. Shayla Ball of Anniston, wanted for failure to pay for second-degree theft of property. Stephen Jones from Anniston, wanted for failure to appear for possession of marijuana second degree and use and possession of drug paraphernalia. Brenton Thompson of Piedmont, wanted for probation violation for 2 counts of fraudulent use of a credit card. Eddie McElderry of Munford, wanted for non-payment of child support. He owes $33,671. Andrew Medley of Anniston, wanted for failure to appear for use and possession of drug paraphernalia. If you have any information about these cases, please call Calhoun County Crime Stoppers at 256-238-1414. All right, more bad guys in just a few minutes, but right now we want to talk to somebody who is going to be your best friend if you're going to be doing some work out in your yard or garden. David West from the Calhoun County Extension Office. Good to see you, David.
Thank you, Chris. Glad to be here.
Now, specifically, we wanted to invite you in this week because we've got Arbor Day coming up and we've got the tree giveaway. So let's go ahead and talk about that a little bit first.
Well, this is Arbor Week in Alabama. Arbor Week is always the last full week in February in Alabama. And so we have several opportunities for you to get free trees this week, on into the first of next week, in fact. And so we've lost a lot of trees in the area over the past few years. We've had droughts, we've had floods. We've had insects, we've had storms, and so we've had a lot of need to replace trees as well.
We've had Matthew crashing into them with planes.
I did not hit no trees. We're not victims of my problems. Just my head. Maybe a fish or two.
So, if somebody wants a free tree,
this is
what
their
do they do?
opportunity. The city of Anniston is having a Arbor Day celebration from 12 to 2 at Zen Park on Thursday, and they'll be giving away free trees, and that's sponsored by the Anniston Parks and Recreation Department and Alabama Power. On Friday, City of Jacksonville's Tree Committee will be giving away trees on the square. I think they're doing it from 1 to 3 there at the square, and that's usually sponsored by the Forestry Commission, the City of Jacksonville. And then on next Monday, from 1 to 3, the Calhoun County Beautification Board will be giving away trees at Norwood Hodges Community Center in Golden Springs, or the Golden Springs Community Center. Most folks may refer to it either way, but we'll be giving away trees there. We'll have, each site will be giving away some small seedlings. Usually they're bare root seedlings, sometimes they're plugs. I know for the Beautification Board giveaway, we'll have those bare root seedlings as well this year, but we also usually give away some larger trees by drawing every 10 minutes or so. And we'll be giving away some larger crepe myrtles this year. And then we'll be giving away one gallon tree to each person that shows up. Just you can't get more than one of those, the bigger trees.
Now, the smaller ones, the limit is what, 500,000?
Well, we usually try to encourage folks to just get one of each species to see if other folks show up, that want the trees. But at the end of the day, we'd like for all the trees to find a home.
Mm-hmm. What kind of trees will they be planting?
We'll be giving away the crepe myrtles as our large giveaway tree, our drawing tree, and then we'll be giving away green emerald arborvitae for one of our 1 gallon trees. We'll be giving away sky pencil holly for one of our giveaway trees, and we'll be giving away Leyland cypress as one of our giveaway
No
trees.
bonsai trees?
No bonsai trees, but you could bonsai those if you wanted to, if you were into it. If you were into it, you'd be starting a little late because we'd like to start them a little smaller than that, but you could do that with a 1-gallon plant.
So is this the best time of the year to plant trees?
Well, actually, fall is the best time of year for most of our planting in Alabama because we have peak root growth in the fall, and so then you'd have all winter for plants to put down a root system, but we certainly don't want to wait much later than February to plant in Alabama because that hot summer weather is going to be right here upon us, and our plants will be trying to grow and put roots out at the same time, and that's what we try to avoid.
It seems a little counterintuitive to someone like me that doesn't really know what I'm talking about. I would think, okay, I see the growth above the ground happening in the spring and summer, mainly the spring, so that's when the growth below would be happening as well, but I guess that's not the case.
That's not true. That growth above ground is using energy stored from the previous year to put out that new growth, and then those leaves that are coming out there are making the energy that will be used next year. And so that's why a lot of times folks will say, well, hey, my tree died. You know, what happened to it? Well, you know, what happened to it may have happened last year or the year before that or something, because a tree is something that lives a long time, and it's living on stored energy a lot of times. And so we have peak root growth in the fall because that's when the top growth slows down. And so the plant stops putting energy toward that top growth and starts directing it toward root growth.
Yeah, my wife tells me I could live off some stored energy for a while if I wanted to.
We all could probably.
I prefer not to, though. All right, so the tree giveaways, we've got several opportunities, and of course we all benefit when we plant trees, when our neighbor plants trees. It helps everybody.
Well, trees provide a lot of things for us, you know, clean air, shade, they filter water. And then in Alabama, of course, trees provide a lot of jobs as well because we have a large timber industry in the state. And I know we're not planting the trees in our yards to benefit the timber industry, but we want people to realize that trees are very much a part of our life here in Alabama.
As a matter of fact, I know somebody who recently purchased some property, and then he had the trees on the property harvested, and they almost paid back what he paid for the property harvesting the trees.
Yes, yes.
So,
and then you have some cleanup costs to go along with that, but then you can come back in and replant. So, you know, if you're going to harvest trees, you need to have a plan for that property. Are we going to replant it, or are we going to convert it to another use?
all right. Well, that's some great information, but we're not done with you, okay? We've got to take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to learn some more from David and find out how you can get prepared for the season of spring that is just around the corner here on Calhoun County's Most Wanted.
The Ford brand has always brought you impressive style and legendary quality, and Sonny King Ford brings you the lowest price and the largest inventory, new or pre-owned. The new 2015 F-150 gets the best gas mileage of any truck without giving up its powerful towing capacity. The iconic new 2015 Mustang, with its classic pony car looks and hunkered down stance, preserves a legacy that defines American motoring. For over 93 years, Sonny King Ford, for the best cars and best price.
Amazing Grace.
How sweet the sound that saved
A crackhead, drug addict,
alcoholic, meth freak,
a wretch like me.
I once was.
Homeless,
Broken. Sad.
just lost.
but now I am sober.
Happy.
I'm found. Was blind, but now I see.
Every day, shattered lives are restored thanks to the goods you donate to the Salvation Army.
What are you doing?
I'm trying to wash my camo so I'm ready for hunting season.
Get that stuff out of my washer. You should take it to a laundromat.
There isn't any good laundries around here.
Sure there is. Washington Aniston Coin Laundry on Quintard across from Walgreens and beside the Social Security office.
They have a washer that can handle a real man's jacket?
They have the biggest washers and dryers around, and you can get all your stuff finished within an hour.
Awesome. I'm headed to Washington Aniston Coin Laundry at 829 Quintard, and then I can take the rest of the day to get my other gear ready.
Or maybe you can finish the yard work.
Yeah, right after I sight my bow.
Your word is rigmarole.
Can you define it?
A long, complicated, and annoying process.
Can you use it in a sentence?
The last time I tried to buy a car, I just got a big load of rigmarole.
Well, you should have gone to Jacksonville Auto Sales.
Jacksonville Auto Sales across from Walmart in Jacksonville, or find us on the web at jascars.com. Remember, Jacksonville Auto Sales, home of the no rigmarole deal.
AOD Federal Credit Union. You already know their friendly staff and great loan products. So here's reason number 8 to choose AOD FCU, a new all-platinum Visa credit card. Call 1-800-637-0299 or visit AODFCU.com to start earning 1% cash back on purchases. Your good credit earns you a better rate. A new Platinum Visa card. Another reason you belong at AOD Federal Credit Union.
Back to business. Let's take another look at this week's lineup on Calhoun County's Most Wanted. Leonora Rodriguez of Birmingham wanted on a probation violation for trafficking in methamphetamine. Cheryl Howell of Anniston wanted on bond revocation for third-degree theft of property. James Burleson from Talladega wanted for failure to appear for domestic violence third degree and use or possession of drug paraphernalia, also failure to appear for possession and receipt of a controlled substance. Sean Ostrander of Jacksonville wanted for failure to pay for second-degree possession of marijuana. Christopher Bryan of Piedmont, wanted for violation of the Sex Offender Registration and Notification Act and probation violation for Sex Offender Registration Notification Act. Amanda Word of Anniston wanted on probation violation for possession and receipt of a controlled substance. Rodney Metters of East Aboga wanted for probation revocation for third-degree criminal trespass. If you have any information about these cases, please call Calhoun County Crime Stoppers. They want your information, not your name, and you could get a cash reward of up to $1,000. The number is 256-238-1414. All right, we've still got the Crime Stoppers segment of the show coming up here in just a little bit, and we'll also have our Crazy Criminal of the Week, which this week we've got a photo, and it's somebody local. You might recognize him. I don't know. We'll find out. Many of you will recognize this guy, David West with the Calhoun County Extension Office. And David, we really do appreciate the information that you bring us here because getting out and working in the soil is great for our minds, our bodies, and our environment.
Well, it's the number 1 hobby in the country. It's been the, bless you. It's been the number 1 hobby for a long time as well. J. Sterling Morton, who started Arbor Day back in the 1800s in Nebraska, was a gardener, and so he moved to Nebraska, started a newspaper business there, and ended up starting Arbor Day because they had a lack of trees there. And so he was from Michigan, was used to trees and gardening, and got there, and it was prairie land. And so he encouraged people to plant trees. And so on that first Arbor Day, it's estimated there in Nebraska that they planted about 1 million trees.
Wow.
And so
that's a pretty good start.
Yes, and so the Arbor Day Foundation has been a good thing, and certainly calls back to his legacy of getting folks to plant trees. And of course, folks there value trees a lot different than we do because they don't have as many trees as we do.
Well, here very soon we're going to start having some beautiful days. I know, Matthew, you're happy about that.
Absolutely.
When those come around, a lot of us are going to want to get out and start getting our hands dirty and doing some planting and other things out in our yard. But a lot of times we get ahead of ourselves and we end up doing things that don't work as well as we had hoped because we didn't start at step number 1. And step number 1, when you're talking about planting things, is making sure that you've got the right thing going into the right soil.
That's right. And so we have our soil test box, and I know I've been saying this for my whole career, to invest in a soil test. Soil tests are only $7. Fertilizers have become quite expensive. And so if you'll test first, you can find out what you need, and then not apply something that you don't need. If you're applying something that you don't need, you're essentially putting out pollution. And so you'd like to not do that, and you'd like to spend money on only what's going to benefit your crop.
For $7, you can find out what you need.
Yes. And the turnaround time on these now is generally 10 to 14 days since we do email now. Of course, you can't email your sample in, but they can email those results back to you. And we have the lab was updated several years back at the Alpha Soil Science Lab there on campus. And they have a much better turnaround than what we used to have. And you get some good information back. And generally, it's going to save you money. And it's certainly going to make sure you have a better crop.
Do you ever send back a result from a soil test and say you just need to give up?
Right. No, I haven't seen one of those before, but people can. This is made for soil that we find out in our yards. It's not made for container mixes. It's not made for soils that you buy bagged, which may be soil-less media, might be peat moss and perlite, those types of things in there. So it's not made to test things where you are gardening above ground, or these raised bed gardens. But for real soil, then this is what you need to test for. You can have those tested as well, but it's a different type test, and it's a little more expensive to have those tests conducted as well.
And you prefer that people don't send in a box to test their compost or manure, right?
Right. and this really isn't made for that. This is made for soil.
Right.
We can test those, and I've had businesses, that want to make compost and sell that, make fertilizers and sell those things. And so we can test for those types of things to see what the marketable value of something is, but that's not what the purpose is for these soil test kits. They're good for up to 20 acres if it's a pasture situation. Generally in a yard, we'd recommend that somebody do one for like the front yard and the backyard.
All right, well, we talked about the tree giveaways, but we've also got a plant sale coming up here in a few weeks.
We do have our Master Gardener Tree Amigos plant sale. It'll be coming up on
Amigos.
Tree Amigos, yes, that's our 4-H club we started years ago when we had a National Tree Trust program, and so we had kids planting trees, and we were giving away trees to other communities in need across the state. And so a group of our Master Gardeners is still called the Tree Amigos group, and they'll be having their plant sale from 8 a.m. to 12 noon on April 9th, 2016. So that'll be coming up shortly. And then right after that, if you like to get some training in plants, we'll begin our yearly Lunch and Learn series. And so that kicks off April 27th. And so we'll end those September 28th. And there'll be one per month. And would be glad for folks to come out and learn more about their community or their plants. And that's a good opportunity to do that. It's at Cane Creek Community Gardens, and usually we have a full house for our presentations out there.
All right, well, we're about out of time here on the show today, but I know a lot of people are going to have a lot of questions for you. And folks, if you've got a question, ask it. David and his folks are available, and that one phone call can save you so many hours and so many dollars.
It can. Our phone number is 256-237-1621, or you can look up all our publications and things online at www.aces.edu. And if you want to ask a question to somebody who's on our local staff, then you can put /Calhoun behind that. It'll open up our county webpage specifically, and you can click on the people who are in the office and ask them a question about the specific topic that you're looking for.
Very good. Thank you, David.
Thank y'all for having us.
Our crazy criminal coming up next on Calhoun County's Most Wanted.
The Ford brand has always brought you impressive style and legendary quality, and Sonny King Ford brings you the lowest price and the largest inventory, new or pre-owned. The new 2015 F-150 gets the best gas mileage of any truck without giving up its powerful towing capacity. The iconic new 2015 Mustang, with its classic pony car looks and hunkered down stance, preserves a legacy that defines American motoring. For over 93 years, Sonny King Ford, for the best cars and best price.
Amazing grace.
How sweet the sound that saved
A crackhead, drug addict,
Alcoholic, meth freak,
a wretch like me.
I once was.
Homeless,
Broken. Sad.
just lost.
but now I am
sober.
Happy.
I'm found. Was blind, but now I see.
Every day, shattered lives are restored thanks to the goods you donate to the Salvation Army.
Your word is rigmarole,
Can you define it?
a long, complicated, and annoying process.
Can you use it in a sentence?
The last time I tried to buy a car, I just got a big load of rigmarole.
Well, you should have gone to Jacksonville Auto Sales.
Jacksonville Auto Sales across from Walmart in Jacksonville, or find us on the web at jascars.com. Remember, Jacksonville Auto Sales, home of the no rigmarole deal.
What are you doing?
I'm trying to wash my camo so I'm ready for hunting season.
Get that stuff out of my washer. You should take it to a laundromat.
There isn't any good laundries around here.
Sure there is. Washington Anderson Coin Laundry on Quintard across from Walgreens and beside the Social Security office.
They have a washer that can handle a real man's jacket?
They have the biggest washers and dryers around, and you can get all your stuff finished within an hour.
Awesome. I'm headed to Washington Anderson Coin Laundry at 829 Quintard, and then I can take the rest of the day to get my other gear ready.
Or maybe you can finish the yard work.
Yeah, right after I sight my bow.
AOD Federal Credit Union. You already know their friendly staff and great loan products. So here's reason number 8 to choose AOD FCU, a new all-platinum Visa credit card. Call 1-800-637-0299 or visit AODFCU.com to start earning 1% cash back on purchases. Your good credit earns you a better rate. A new Platinum Visa card. Another reason you belong at AOD Federal Credit Union.
All right, it's time for the Crime Stopper segment of the show. We're going to talk about some property crimes that we would appreciate your help in solving. Somebody has the information that we need. Hopefully it's you, and you'll give us a call. Between February 13th and February 15th, a 5-foot by 12-foot utility trailer was stolen from Lynn Costner Auto Sales on Highway 431 in Alexandria. Between February 20th and 21st, a residence on Danview Road in Jacksonville was burglarized. This bedroom window was broken. No items were taken. On February 18th, unknown persons shot into a residence on Highway 204 in Wellington. Between January 9th and February 20th, an outbuilding on Bryant Road in Wellington was burglarized. A Stihl weed eater, Stihl backpack blower, Porter cable power tool set, Husqvarna chainsaw, and DeWalt miter saw were stolen. On February 18th, 2016, unknown persons shot into an unoccupied vehicle on Highway 9 in Piedmont. If you have any information about these cases, please call Calhoun County Crime Stoppers. We don't need to know who you are, we just need your information. Call 256-238-1414.
Stupid! You're so stupid!
All right, it is time for our crazy criminal of the week now. And Matthew, this time we've got somebody local.
I like them when they're local.
Yeah,
Keep it
and,
local.
You guys at the Sheriff's Office provided us with a photograph. Can we go ahead and get that on the screen here now? Apparently, T-shirts do not immunize you from law enforcement.
If it had Larry Emerson signed at the bottom, it might have got her out of it. But since there's no signature on the bottom of that shirt, it's considered that shirt would be valid. But without his signature, it does not make it valid. So we'll just say that if it had Larry Emerson on the bottom, that would be a valid reason.
Can I get one and get him to sign it?
I've been trying for 20 years. But if you can find one with his signature on it, it'll work. And it's got to be Larry Emerson. It can't be Harry Anderson. So
you know, the look on her face, it kind of looks like somebody may have sold her that shirt for a couple of $100. Said, this will keep you out of jail.
I give her A for effort. If she'd have known the signature would have made it work, she could have done it. Close. Hanger nades don't only count, what's it called? Close only counts in horseshoes and hanger nades.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. All right. Well, we now have taught you a little bit about your wardrobe and what it can and cannot accomplish when it comes to interacting with the law enforcement officials. We hope that you have learned from this. Okay, that's about all the time that we've got for this week. We do appreciate you tuning in. If you missed part of the show, you can see the entire show if you want to on TV24.tv. We've got the shows on demand. You can go back and watch previous episodes if you'd like. And also you can go to our Facebook page for the Calhoun County Sheriff's Office and see this week's lineup and the Crime Stopper segment, as well as special Facebook videos for you there. We try to make it as convenient as possible for you to get the information so that you can share that information back with us that we need to keep the community safe. We'll be looking for you again next week, but hopefully not in the lineup on Calhoun County's Most Wanted.